Hello friends, my name is Olga. I'm Ukrainian medical student. Before I did some videos about my education, about my study at medical university as a mature person. But as we have now war in Ukraine and I am currently from Kiev region, I started to make updates about war in my country, and I want to tell you what kind of mood and news Ukrainian receive and what we are talking usually about inside our society. Um, and Before I was in Kiev region, I was quite, stressed because the situation was, quite dangerous. And I watched a lot of missiles flying in sky, and it was scary, and I had to sit most of time, on the ground in some shelter. But now I went a little bit west from Kiev region. I tried to relax a little bit, to calm down, because it's impossible to think about anything when you're stressed all the time, when you're I just even first 5 days I even can't eat properly, and I cannot couldn't think about any food I should buy. And then I understood that we have problems with food, and I had no food. It was very unpleasant situation for me, and then I tried to find it. And actually my situation, my feeling was like I, for example, had one sleepless night, and then few nights I slept because and I was actually sleepy and stressed because I was exhausting about that night, and then I again have some sleepless night because I'm hearing some machinery in tanks or something really heavy or big nearest roads moving, in, for example, at night. And I'm hearing here like like a beehive with heavy machinery. It is quite, for example, few 2 kilometers near me. I cannot see it, but I feel something, engines work, and it is something powerful. And I'm feeling sometimes some smell like burning resin or some chemicals. And I understood that it was something close happens near me. And if you hear it at night, you cannot sleep. And I can't sleep that night. And then because of exhausting, I slept 2 nights again. And this is like all the time happened. And in such a condition, I couldn't for example, think about to take all my things, what I how to evacuate, what thing I should take, what kind of thing I should pack and hide somewhere, what kind of thing I should transport somewhere to Kiev and hide maybe. And was very, very stressful situation. And all actions, they were like in water. You cannot do everything fast. You cannot think and decide something fastly. And it was very, very very unpleasant, stressful. And after I moved out a little bit far, because I understood that I'm just useless there. I cannot help my army because I do not know anything about war. Sorry, this is my third cat. um, Say hello, Lola. Hello. And so I can't think about anything. And when I finally, I was such an exhaust. Sorry, my cat wants to pet her, and I should do that because it is her will. And actually, what I want to say to you that finally, after 2 weeks, I was, some kind of tired about this situation, and it wasn't like some decision or something, but I was just tired about that situation. I'm all the time stressed. I understand that I cannot help army because I do not have any this military skills or knowledges, and I will be useless, and that level of stress I have, I understand that I cannot be a soldier. I want to help, and I'm actually helping my army by that means I can, but I decided that I will be more useful when I will move out of that region and may help outside, because the other things also important, like financial help, like I don't know, when you're doing some videos and telling about it, it is also help, and other kinds of help. It is also very significant help for army. So I decided to move out a little bit west, and now I'm quite relaxed. But anyway, I'm watching and thinking all the time about war, about information, about what's happening there, about current news, and actually I'm thinking about it all the time. And what we have now that interesting, maybe since 21st of March, it means 1 week ago, our medical study, my medical study and my group restored, because 3 weeks after Russian invasion we stopped our training, and now our university decided to restore a remote study. So we are studying remotely, and we need just internet connection, Wi-Fi, and we using our laptops or personal computers or whatever, even sometimes iPhones, and we are continuous study. We're receiving some tasks. I'm trying to study also, and my group mates, some of them have problems to be online with video. Some of them cannot have some not fast internet connection, so they cannot have this meet with a video or something. But actually almost all my group mates, they try to study on, and that first lessons, practical classes we had, my group mates, out of 13, 8 of group mates had possibility to be online. What about interesting news connected with war? Actually now, as I see, war, it is like not hot first time, but when we have very unexpected attack, when Russian army captured some lands near Ukrainian borders. Now our society like more calm down. Every Ukrainian understood what he or she can do for a victory, and actually all Ukrainians now they united, and everyone try to do and to help what he or she can. A lot of people become soldiers, even women. Unfortunately, I received information that 16th of March, one of the students on my university died. He was a first year student of pharmacy faculty, and he died, and because he became a soldier, and he was killed. And But anyway, all my group mates, they are alive, and everyone, hiding. Oh, sorry, this is my cat. uh, she moving my camera, and uh, and uh, sorry. And everyone hiding somewhere. Few people, they left our country and they are abroad, but their parents still in Kiev, for example. Um so this is the situation we have, and I am very thankful that my all group mates, they are still alive, and they somewhere in safe place, I hope. And what about our society? As I said, that Ukrainians, they all united, and even we have some captured cities and towns. It is mostly cities near border, and it was very easy for Russians to capture them because they were close to, for example, Belarusian borders, or Crimea, where a lot of Russian military technique, machinery, and a lot of soldiers there, and also they have military ships. Sorry, and she kills me. And but anyway, in that captured cities, people, they do not afraid to show their position, that they do not want Russians. They do not have weapons at all, but they, as I told you maybe before, they go out with Ukrainian flags, they sing in Ukrainian anthems, and they dance them, and they said to military Russian armed soldiers that you should go home. This is Ukraine. Our city is still Ukraine, and we want to live in Ukraine. And most of the cities, they have Russian speaking population, Russian speaking people there. But anyway, doesn't matter. They just used to speak Russian, and if everyone in your environment speaks some language, it is very hard to change language for people, because if, for example, it is half people at least speaks Ukrainian and half Russian, it is easier. But for that cities that were before Russificated in USSR times, a lot of all people speak Russian. It is very hard for people who want to change language to speak Ukrainian there, because communication, it is when you use different language, it is hard. And so people there, actually, they love Ukraine, but a lot of them still speak Russian. And actually, as now this situation, this war showed, the language not always shows and the sign of what kind of country you want to live in. And unfortunately, now Russian-speaking people, they are they major victims of Russian aggression, unfortunately. And in such captured cities like Slavutich near Chernobyl, also Kherson, also Berdyansk, Melitopol, and other captured cities, people there go out on meetings with Ukrainian flags. And Kherson city, even few days ago, Russian soldiers, they started to shoot at Ukrainian people who was with Ukrainian flags. People started to run and scream, of course, and there was some killed people, unfortunately, by Russian army. But after that, they didn't give up, and they, after that, 2 days later, they made and how to say, put hanging on government, the main government building, huge Ukrainian flag. After that, murder on the square of Ukrainian, people with Ukrainian flags. So Kherson do not give up still, and I think that it has a great potential to be freed in nearest time, because near Kherson we have completely legendary village called Chernobyevka. Maybe you heard about that. There is airport for military helicopters, aircrafts, and Russian they feel it by that machinery, that air forces, and now it tends time our army destroy every all helicopters and aircrafts on that Chernobyevka airport, and it is a very strange and situation because they brought the technique, for example, and our army destroyed it from I don't know which side, maybe from, I don't want to tell you because it is not that good to open all information, but anyway, our army destroyed it in Chernobyevka. They brought second time their helicopters and aircrafts. Our army destroyed that, and now we have 10th time. Actually, they 10 times they bring these helicopters, very expensive planes, aircrafts, and our army destroyed them. And our the head of Mykolaiv region, Vitaly Kim, maybe you know him, he tells, and also our speaker, military speakers, they tell that they say that what kind of stupidity have Russian army and Russian commanders, that they use this Chernobyevka every time, and our army destroys every time some expensive airplanes there. And it is near Kherson. It is maybe like satellite village on the edge, and it makes me also, I know that near Mykolaiv and closer to Kherson, it is on the south of Ukraine, our Ukrainian army freed a lot of territories. And this Chernobyevka, it is on occupied by Russian army territory, but with such a success, I think that Kherson has all chances to be freed from Russian army by Ukrainians. Also, I see that in other direction, for example, near Kiev on the western north, there is a lot of towns and villages captured by Russian army that came from Belarus side. Now we have such a situation that part of them near Zhytomyrska highway, it is very important highway, maybe I told you before, it is on the way to Warsaw. It is one of the biggest roads from the Kiev to west, and now our army surrounded that group, huge group of Russian soldiers with tanks, with machinery, and actually they now like almost surrounded. I cannot tell you exactly because this different information. Some people said that it is possibility for Russian army to be surrounded. Other experts said that they are already surrounded, but anyway, there is something happens and bad for Russian army, definitely. Few days ago, our army freed Irpin. It is satellite town near Kiev, in that direction, and actually as they surrounded this part of Russian army should be cut off other part closer to border, and we call such surrounded by part of this army, we call it a boiler. It means like thing for cooking something, and if this half round will, will be closed, and it will be like surrounded this part of army, and it will be destroyed inside. So we have Ukrainian army have all possibilities, and everyone wait for this boiler for Russians, because actually in Donbass in 2014 they did such a thing for Ukrainian army near Ilovaisk, and then they had these evil jokes, a fun off of Ukrainian army that we will do again Ilovaisk for you, we will do boiler for you. Do you remember how your people were killed in that boiler near Ilovaisk? And now we have all chances to do the boiler for Russian army. And it is funny because before they said that there is no any Russian in Donbass, but now actually they took off all masks, and actually they do not hide anymore that actually it is Russian army, of course, was in 2014 on Donbass. It is not civilian war in Ukraine. And other new I want to tell you about Slavutich. It is city near Chernobyl. It is small city, and I got information that today or these days in the city moved in the center of the city Russian tanks. It is, I don't know if it's called city. It is not. It's small, quiet, but it's important because in Slavutich live all people who are who work on Chernobyl nuclear station. Actually, it is the youngest city in Ukraine, and Slavutich created and built for people who work on Chernobyl atomic station. So it is very important city because Chernobyl atomic station also, or nuclear station, also captured by Russians. And I got information that people, they also go out on square, they show that it is Ukraine, they carry Ukrainian flags. It is the same as Kherson, Melitopol on the south, the same, they protest against Russians. And now we have no entrance, they have no entrance, they cannot leave Slavutich because it is occupied by Russians, and they did it like they closed all roads, all ways out of Slavutich, so people there imprisoned by Russians, unfortunately, by Russian army. And what is interesting, and I must say that about, of course, Chernobyl atomic disaster, about this that territory near Chernobyl is quite dangerous because it is radiation, and some parts it is not all territory, but partially this territory had this high radiation concentration of radioactivity, or I don't know how to call properly, but it is dangerous to be there. And these territories, the only people who experts, they know what territories are more safe and what territories are dangerous. And we have so-called red or ginger forests. It means these forests, they are really very dangerous. These ginger forests in some parts near Chernobyl atomic station or nuclear station, they have still high level of radioactivity, so that's why they call ginger forests, because they actually, the trees, the wood, the grass, the ground, everything there poisoned by high radioactivity. And we got information that in that ginger forests, Russian soldiers, Russian army start to dig fortifications, and it means that they will stay there for a long time. And our speakers and experts say that I wish them to spend time there longer, because actually radiation will slowly kill them, and if they will survive, it may influence on their fertility, on their for example, cause some oncology, I mean cancer diseases, and so they stay there, and maybe they do not know about this ginger forest and where they are, because radiation have no smell, have no any signs. You cannot feel it by your analyzers, by eyes, by ears, by anything. So it will kill them, very maybe after war, or maybe they will feel something, even now. So Chernobyl help us a little bit, help Ukrainians, because they know about it. They know more safe, places there, and more dangerous like these ginger forests. Unfortunately, I have no light in room, and you see that it is darker. It is going darker and darker, and that's why I want to end this video, and also because it is quite long, I think. I want to wish you all the best. Soon I will prepare, to go to sleep, of course, because it is evening here, and I will try to keep you update. I will try to tell you tomorrow a little bit more about not just my feelings, but about news we have in Ukraine. But I think that everything will be fine. Everything will be good. Ukraine will win. Unfortunately, sorry, without any doubt. Sorry, I'm just tired to talk a lot. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye. And this Lolita want to say to you also bye. Yes. See you next time.